Hello, this is Nick from GameCube, and I'm here with Peter and Caleb. Today, we're going to be talking about our PlayStation 5 predictions. The PlayStation 5 reveal event with games. I don't think they're going to show hardware. It's going to be Thursday. I believe that's the 11th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We are very excited for it. So let's jump in. We each have 3 predictions for console features we'd like to see, and then 3 games. And then at the end, we're going to end things off with a very crazy, all-out prediction for something that likely will never happen.
Yeah, how crazy.
I know, very crazy.
Whoa, that's
All
too
right.
crazy.
So I'll start off with my first one, and then we'll go to Caleb, and then Peter.
All right.
So for my first prediction, it's about dreams and how they're going to expand upon it. So when they revealed the DualSense controller, they kind of hinted that the share button is now called the create button, and they hinted that it's going to have some greater purpose that would be revealed at a later date, but they didn't really go into what that would be. So I think, similar to Wii Sports, Dreams is going to be a pack-in game with the PS5, probably just digitally though. And then it's going to be integrated into the console itself with that create button. So it's going to have all kinds of uses. Like they're going to use it for marketing, for like anyone who has a PS5 can just create games for it, and if it's good enough, publish them. If they're good enough with it, I think it would be interesting if Sony themselves supported it and throughout the life cycle of the PlayStation 5 came out with smaller scale Dreams games from like classic franchises that people like Parappa or just any older things, like maybe a new Jack game or Sly or any of those, and they get the old developers to make it in Dreams, because you wouldn't need as large of a budget for that, and it would just be a cool thing they could do.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
At the same time, I think it would be cool if they integrated Dreams functionality into different larger games that came out. So like, I don't know, Death Stranding or something. If Death Stranding 2 comes out, they would basically toy around with the features a bit, so Dreams would be aware of all the different models and their functions, and it would essentially let players take the stuff out of that big budget game and make their own game or level out of it in Dreams.
Oh, I actually really like that. Like kind of how when you have like Gary's mod on your computer, you can use like models from whatever like Valve games you have.
But at the same time, since it will be like baked into the I don't know how they would do it, I'm not technical, but the way I'm thinking is they would be able to mark certain assets, and then the way it plays as well, so it would have like the exact same gameplay and physics from the game that it's from.
That's an
Yeah.
interesting
So it'd be
idea.
like Dreams is integrated into all these larger big budget games.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. I would really like to see that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that's it for that prediction. So, Caleb, what do
All
you
right.
have?
So my first console-based prediction is something not quite as exciting as that, but I think just as important. It's a really good Wi-Fi chip, because the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch have terrible Wi-Fi chips, and it takes
Yes.
forever to get even like we got Uno not too long ago, and Uno is 3 gigabytes, and it took me like I think like an hour to install Uno. And in the PS5, I want a true next-gen experience where I don't have to wait an hour to install Uno. Like, I would like
Yeah.
games to download faster, and I don't know. It's a small thing, but I think it will really add up.
Yeah, I agree, because especially the Wi-Fi chip in the PS4 makes it just significantly lower than what your internet actually is if you have faster internet. So even if you have that faster internet and you don't have access to using an Ethernet cable, you just can't get access to it. It's significantly slower.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Um
All
so
right,
my
Peter.
my kind of one of my bigger hopes for this console, and they've kind of already confirmed uh sort of that this is going to be a thing, but the disk transfer speed on the PS4 is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
and I really hope that it is significantly better on the PS5 because,
Yeah.
like, buying a game on disc and having most of the game just have to download to the console itself, it's like, why did I buy the game then? Like, why did I buy it on a disc if it's just still gonna download? It's like, I don't know. It's really silly
Mm.
and like it's just kind of a waste of like storage data because you just copy
Mm-hmm.
most of the data off of the disk instead of just playing the game off the disk.
Yeah. I mean, other than online features, if you buy a disc, you should be able to pop it in and instantly start playing. Like, it takes away a lot of the fun of getting a game when it comes out because you have to wait hours upon hours sometimes for those larger games to even be ready to play, where the people who got it digitally could have downloaded it in advance.
Yeah, it's honestly it's kind of an annoying thing uh with just getting games, it's just having to wait for them to install. You know, I like the Super Nintendo kind of way of doing things where you put cartridge in game console,
Mm.
hit on, and game plays.
So my next one is a lot smaller. I probably should have ended with the big dreams prediction for the console features, but one thing I really want to see with the PlayStation 5 is a playtime counter because I like that a lot about the Nintendo Switch, as you can
Mm,
see how much time you've played all your games for. But at the same time, I think it would be cool if they integrated new playtime trophies, and maybe they could be medals. And then for each game, the developer can go in and say, like, okay, this is how much time you need to play to get the bronze, the silver, and the gold playtime medals. I just think that would be interesting.
huh.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
kind
be
of
really cool.
that's an interesting idea. So kind of like an incentive to put more hours into a game.
All right. So my next one is bigger than the first one, but still not that big. Is a better second screen app than we had in the PS4. So when the
Mm.
PS4 was first announced is around the time that the Wii U was coming out. So all of the companies thought that maybe the Wii U would be a big thing, and they made the second screen apps that would like act as a second screen for within the console. But PS4
Mm.
and Xbox never really went anywhere with those. So I think it would be interesting if maybe alongside another PlayStation Portable, which probably won't happen, if they like increased functionality, like maybe within certain games you could like check your inventory on your phone, or like maybe that could be like another screen, like you could check your score or something like that. But I'd definitely like to see more creative uses with that.
Yeah, that could be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really useful too. I'm not even aware of any games that use that for in-game things. Like I'm sure there's some of them for near the launch
Yeah.
that probably use like maps or something, but I can't think of any games that ever advertised having that as a feature.
I mean,
Yeah, I know that Red Dead and GTA both use them, but they weren't through PlayStation. It was just through their own apps.
right.
Mm.
I feel like that could work really well if it connects directly to the game and like the first thing that comes to mind is I really liked how in Wind Waker HD on the Wii U, you can use the gamepad to like assign different items to different buttons without going into like a pause menu. And like I don't know, it would be kind of novelty if you could like if you had a game like that and you could just do it, you know, with your phone. Obviously not Wind Waker because it's PlayStation, but you know, like some
Hey, is that one of your game predictions?
sure. Wind Waker,
Wind Waker on
but it's
PlayStation
but
5?
it's not Wind Waker HD. It's just GameCube Wind Waker.
Mm.
There you go.
I mean, the PlayStation 5 probably won't be able to run it any better than the GameCube did because it was such a powerful little cube.
The
Yeah.
GameCube is box shaped, and everybody knows that boxes are strong.
Oh my gosh, what if they announce that the PlayStation 5 is also box shaped and then it will have Wind Waker?
I'd probably cry and scream simultaneously.
Wow. All
Yeah.
right. So, is that it for that prediction, Caleb?
Yeah, that's it for the second screen app.
Okay. Peter, you are up.
Um. Okay, this is a really minor one, but it's really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a PS4 Pro, and
Yeah.
I gotta say, I hate the way this friggin' thing is shaped. The PS4 Pro has
But
the
it's professional.
no, 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 no. It's shaped really weird. I don't understand why the PS4 Pro has like fat rolls, first of all.
Mm. That
Like
it
can,
shows
can,
the power. I think that was the intent.
yeah, I get they're trying to like layer it on, but it's not looking good. It's not a good look for PlayStation. Also,
Yeah.
also, I don't know if people watching this will know, but the PS4 Pro is like weirdly slanted, which I'm okay with in the front, because in the front it's kind of slanted like going up, which like makes it
Yeah.
easier to like see where things are and like plugging stuff in, and it looks nice. And I agree with that design choice. The thing I don't agree with is that the back of the console is slanted in the opposite way. So if you're ever
Mm-hmm.
trying to plug things into the back, like for my setup, I tend to swap HDMI cords in and out of it a lot. It's just a guessing
Yeah.
game because like
You gotta feel it with your
yeah,
finger.
it literally it has like this umbrella over the back. So that's my
Mm.
request for PS5. Just don't do that garbage. It's
Yeah.
such a minor thing, but it's like really annoying.
So since you've said that, it had me thinking now that even like normal like console designs, it's pretty hard to plug things in the back without like pulling it out and looking. If they had a console design where only the back was slanted and it wasn't slanted the way that the Pro is in the back, it would make it much easier to find where they all are and plug it in
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
for all the ports. But it might also make it harder to do that because if it's slanted diagonally, they'd all be poking out or something.
Yeah.
All right. So, my final prediction for console features is that I want them to bring memory cards back.
Yes.
You gotta
Mm.
love those PlayStation 2 era animations for each game's save file. Gotta get those back in the process. And then at the same time, we've gotten to a point where it would be semi cheap for Sony to release small storage drives, so smaller than an external hard drive. They'd be able to fit into ports like the new Xbox is doing it, where Microsoft is releasing these small drives that plug directly into the back of the console. And then the speed and price of an SSD that would work with the PS5 is very concerning to me since it's not even on the market yet, or drives aren't even on the market yet that would work with it.
Yeah.
So if Sony just came out with their own solution to that, it would be much easier. Because with my PlayStation 4 and PS4 Pro, the external hard drive is a huge pain. Having to set it up, if your PlayStation 4 ever loses power, it has to reconfigure all the databases. It's not ideal. And I think they should bring back some kind of official Sony solution to this, as long as it's not like very inflated like the PS Vita memory cards were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for that prediction.
All right. So my next one is kind of a combination of hardware and games. So I'm predicting that PSVR 2 is going to use like the same finger sensors that that some of the more advanced VR headsets use, and the first game that's going to come to that is Half-Life Alyx. And that's going to be like one of the
Okay.
big selling points of PSVR 2 is that like you can't do this in PSVR 1. It's just too advanced to play in PSVR 1. So you got to get PSVR 2 to play this game. And yeah, I think that would be really interesting, and it's a game that I've been wanting to play, so I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Um, I have kind of Nick, this piggybacks off of what you said actually a little bit. Is you got me thinking about the memory card animations from like PS2.
Yeah.
Uh,
Were they on PS1 as well or no?
Yeah,
Because I didn't have a
kind
PS1
of,
growing
but
up.
they were like very simple, like three frame, like 2D animations, and I think
Mm.
only some game saves had them. They were only like one or like two or three frame animations though. They were still charming though, but this brings me to what I was gonna say, which is I would love to have a PlayStation with like kind of a more like charming like iconic interface. Um and in the sense like
Yeah.
I feel like the PS1 and the PS2 have so much like they're very iconic. Like even just like the boot up screens, I feel like are very iconic.
Exactly.
I feel like the PS3 and the PS4 really don't have that as much. They're a lot more of just like
Mm.
these sleek, generic, modern designs that like yes, they work, but like they're not interesting or like creative. And I really liked I like the PS1, the like little PS1 intro graphic is like super iconic to me. The PS2's OS is just like really cool to look at.
Mm.
And like all the save data had these like little 3D things that like animated, and that was really cool. And I definitely think that they should like push to bring stuff like that back, because I love really charming layouts for things. I think it adds a lot.
Mm. So I think there's a trade off with that. I think the reason the PlayStation 4 and I think the PS3 is a little more memorable in terms of that, but just for me, the PlayStation 4, I think it isn't as memorable because of themes. You're not just staring at the same thing all the time, and everyone has something different. So the
That's true.
themes make it better for each person, but at the same time, it makes the console's image weaker in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
All
that's a good
right.
point.
So let's move on to games. And let's go a little faster because we have a time limit here. But for my first launch game, and I don't know if I specifically told you guys launch games, so I don't know if it has to be a launch game, but just games that will be near launch, I suppose. I have a new IP 3D platformer that blows people away. This isn't Knack, it actually looks really good. I don't
Ooh.
know who's making it, but it's going to reach the heights of Astrobot, but not in VR.
Hmm.
And then my crazy part of this prediction, not my super crazy prediction, my semi crazy prediction, can't speak today, is that it's possibly made by Naughty Dog. So
Ooh.
Naughty
Wow.
Dog has two studios, and this game is what's going to happen after years of Naughty Dog devs getting angry at people saying they don't know how to do gameplay that's fun. This is their response to that,
Hmm.
is this platformer. And I also think that if it is Naughty Dog, it won't be Jack. It'll be something new.
Yeah.
Wow. I would be more than down for that.
Yeah,
And that is it.
I definitely think it would be interesting to see Naughty Dog do like any game with a fantasy setting. Period.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Could be really interesting.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so I guess I already said my first game kind of, which is Half-Life Alyx, but my second game is so a Doctor Strange game in the same vein as the PS4 Spider-Man, but made by a different studio. So originally when
Okay.
Insomniac was given like the Spider-Man IP to make a game out of, they were given any Marvel property to choose from, but they went with Spider-Man. So that's making me think like, oh, maybe there's another studio out there that's making a different Marvel character, and that Marvel character might be Doctor Strange. So I don't know. I just think Doctor Strange would lend himself to be really interesting in an open world video game setting with like all the magic and teleporting and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, and that would show off the load times really well because you would be able to make a portal to somewhere very far away and just instantly be able to go through it.
that's true. I didn't even think of that, but that's a good point.
Hmm.
And before we move on, what studio do you think would make the game?
That's a good question. I'm gonna guess Santa Monica,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it really could be anyone. Probably not Insomniac, and probably not Naughty Dog, but one of the other ones.
It would be funny if all the Sony studios just stop making new games and all just start making Marvel games.
I wouldn't be upset at that.
Hmm.
I know it would be interesting to see what happens. Will they sell better than the original IPs or no?
Maybe.
All right, Peter,
So
you're up.
I've kind of an interesting idea. I would just like to see a launch game that makes me say, "Wow, I've never seen this before." Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just want something like kind of like that really is like wow, like that is like I have not seen this game before. Because I feel like a lot of the time like you see new games and you're just like, "Oh, this game is Dark Souls again. This game is Fortnite again. This game is Mario
Mm.
again." You know, it's like
So, so you mean an entirely like new genre? Like it just looks completely different, not just like it doesn't just graphically blow you away, but it's just like a new genre.
I don't know if necessarily a new genre, but if it uses a
Mm.
pre-established genre, I would want it to like completely toy with the conventions of it in a way that has never been before seen. You know, I want something that's just like wow, like that's new. Like it's new, you know? We're not doing
Mm.
the
Hmm.
same thing that we've been doing forever, you know? And also,
Yeah.
it would be cool if it was like, you know, not even like this, you know, because a lot of like these like hyper realistic story driven games get put on PlayStation, and it's like, what if we just had a game that's just none of that, and it's just weird and new and interesting, you know?
Mm.
Kind
Yep,
of
I
like
agree.
And
how Patapon is almost like
new Patapon, just new Patapon. Patapon 4 confirmed. All right, they take Patapon and they make it a 3D game. What does
whoa.
that look like?
I don't know. Call it
It'd
like
be something new.
Stickman.
That would be so funny if like it's just not Patapon, like it's very clearly Patapon, and then like the title shows at the end of the trailer and it's like Stickman.
Stickman.
Oh no.
What if Sony just releases Pikmin 4?
Well, it's been done for years. It's been done since 1997.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. What's your next prediction?
All right, this is probably my prediction that will push the limit the most. It is very insane. You know, like this is probably never gonna happen. This prediction is Gran Turismo 7.
Hmm.
Whoa.
So,
Are they not still
uh,
making those?
no, I was being sarcastic, kind of doing a bad job at it. You know, they
No, I
made
got
Gran
it.
Turismo Sport on the PS4, and a lot of people were disappointed with it. I really liked it, but I haven't played the other Gran Turismo games. Apparently, it had a lot less content than the other ones.
Hmm.
But that came out in 2016, and when they made that game, they specifically made all the assets in the game. I think they made it like every asset is like at 8K just so they could keep using it in future games.
Wow.
Huh.
And trademarks were filed for a new Gran Turismo game the day that this event was supposed to originally happen, and then also logos like leaked online. So we probably will see this. Um, so I don't think it's anything that'll like really blow anyone away. Like if you like racing sims, you like racing sims. But I think it would be interesting if maybe they put some more arcadey modes into it just to change things up and try and get more people. Like it wouldn't be the main focus at all, but just like some small part of this game is like more of an arcadey mode than
Hmm.
sim.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
And that's what I have.
Okay, so for my next game prediction, it's less of a game and more of a DLC for one of my favorite games that already exists. So I'm really hoping that we get some kind of Red Dead Redemption 2 story mode DLC, like we got with the first Red Dead Redemption way back when, and that the game is like semi remastered for PS5 and Xbox Series X. But I'm not sure how likely that is to happen, given that Rockstar really likes to focus on the online DLC more than the story DLC, but I really hope that we get more story DLC.
Have you seen the rumor that they're bringing the original game? They're like remastering or remaking the original one for next gen consoles.
Oh, that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a smaller prediction, but it's just something I'm really hoping that'll happen.
Would be cool.
So I got a good one. PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale is a game that existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like I want something that is just a bunch of like Sony IPs and like PlayStation IPs all in a game, but like it doesn't necessarily have to be a fighting game. Maybe it's a kart racer, maybe it's a party game, maybe it's like a
Yeah.
Mario Party ripoff. Like I don't really care what it is. I just want silly crossover game.
Yeah, I can see a party game being really funny, especially since most of the Sony IPs are like serious
Oh yeah, no, I
games.
want like all of the serious, like I want like Joel from The Last of Us to be in like like Sony Mario Party.
Yeah, I think it'd be really funny to see like Ellie and Joel riding a cart against like Parappa and like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
also gonna be honest. This was my crazy prediction. Like my crazy prediction was PlayStation All Stars karting, but I did have a second one for backup because I thought that someone might mention it. But yeah, I do really want to see Sony crossover
Yeah.
again.
I hope it's wacky.
All right. So, before I say
right.
my next game, I'm just going to say that I'm surprised none of us said backwards compatibility when we were doing the console features.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like
The
that's
other
such an
consoles.
obvious thing that
I know.
everyone wants, I guess.
That's why it didn't happen. But, like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that's the best thing they can do.
Oh, easily.
A PlayStation that plays all the PlayStation games would be amazing.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
next game. Everyone's saying that the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel is going to be revealed. right?
Horizon 1
But
Dawn.
it's Nope.
Sorry.
I'm going further. Horizon 2 Dawn.
Whoa.
So, Horizon 2 Dawn is going to be called 2 Dawn because it's going to have groundbreaking co-op that can be played split screen or online for the entirety of the game. But at the same time, this is the last game in the original Horizon trilogy. So they skipped the second game in the series and went to this. It's going to start with Aloy dying and giving a mission to the new protagonist who's a rookie and has to take over. Then, years in the future, when the third game comes out, it's going to be the second game and go back to Aloy and end with Aloy dying at the start of this game.
Whoa.
Wow, that would be a roller coaster.
Yup.
I'm down.
It'll be a great game. Horizon 2 Dawn. It's definitely real. It's happening.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
absolutely.
That's it. That's the game. All I know, the whole game is just Aloy dying. That's the game, okay?
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
So I think I already went through all of my game predictions. So Peter, you can go next if you want.
Okay, I have a good one. So, I think it's a staple of every console's launch lineup that there needs to be a game that is just not very good. And genuinely, I want a PS5 launch title that's just garbage. Like it's not like offensive, but it's just like bad, and people just kind of like crap on it because it's not good. Um, I hope it's like a licensed game too, ideally. Just I don't know, some like garbage game that's like, but like Sony's really proud of it for no reason.
Like, it's a Sony-made game, not a third-party game.
You know what? Yeah, let's get a little crazy with it. It is Sony. It is first party, but it's like, Kung Fu Panda or some garbage. I don't know.
Is it Knack 3?
It's not. It would kind of
what
fit
if,
the
what if
same
it's
bill.
Knack Zero? Knack Zero Dawn.
Yeah, it's Knack. It's like a prequel to Knack.
Knack to the future.
Knack to the future. Yeah, no. It stars Knack and his best friend Mark Sony as they go on a wild adventure to discover why rocks exist.
Except you play as Mark Sony, not Knack. Like Knack's just like the NPC that follows you around the whole game. Like he's like the Ellie.
No, I'm thinking like a Banjo-Kazooie, so like some of the moves use Knack, so you like use them as like one unit,
Oh, okay.
you know?
And does Knack stand on Mark Sony's shoulder,
Well,
like in the thumbnail to this video?
well, I don't know.
Like Pikachu, but Knack.
I was thinking Knack is like still a baby, so maybe he's just like one rock with like sentience.
Okay.
And then as you play the game, he slowly gets more pebbles added to him.
Can he be like? Can they just blatantly rip his voice lines off from Pokemon, and he just like says his name, and that's the only thing he can say?
Knack.
He's just like Knack, Knack.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So is that it for our games? We've all done all 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
All right, so Caleb, you say your crazy prediction first, since you may have to leave before we're done recording this. So I want you to
All right.
be able to do that.
So, my original crazy prediction was Sony All-Stars Kart Racers, but my second is PlayStation Home is going to make a comeback in VR. And
Okay.
PlayStation Home, for those of you who don't know, was I didn't play it, but apparently it was a PS3 thing where like you could interact with different people and like your avatars could talk. It's like that game Second Life that was popular in like the early 2000s, but for PlayStation. So I'm predicting that with the rise and kind of fall of VR chat, that Sony's going to make a new kind of thing like that exclusively for PSVR 2. And that's my prediction.
I like that. I think people would be hyped if anything PlayStation Home related was announced.
Yeah.
Just because people,
Yeah.
I've heard people talk very fondly of PlayStation Home. A lot of people were upset that it got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like a really cool hub where players can interact with each other.
Yeah, I thought it would be really cool. Like, I think it was kind of ahead of its time. But,
Yeah.
like, it would be cool to see it again.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, Peter, do you want to do your crazy idea or should I go first?
You can go first.
All right. So, my crazy prediction, but this is not so crazy where it's something I wouldn't want to see, is that Sony is going to go all in on 3D audio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in their original presentation, they said that they've even figured out a way where if you're not wearing headphones, you're just like sitting in front of a TV or whatever, they can still make spatial audio that sounds like it's either coming from the left or the right. It can be heard coming from behind you, and that's pretty amazing. I don't know how accurate that will be.
Yeah.
But if they have it working well, I'd like to see an audio-only game come out
Ooh.
where there's basically limited visuals, and then, for example, if this was a 3D platformer, each enemy would have like a different rhythm or instrument, and you would hear them in the space around you, so you would know their location. And then the protagonist would also have a specific rhythm and sound, so you'd always know where they were in the space around you. So when you move the thumbstick, you can actually tell where your character is without even looking at the screen.
Mm.
Wow,
So there
that'd
wouldn't be
really
anything
sick.
on this. There would be something on the screen. And it could also work with like a rhythm game where there's no visuals and you can hear the notes coming at you from all around you. And you would have to click the button, like if they just did the 4 main buttons, like you would time it with when it hits where you're sitting in the room from front, behind, left, and right. And I think that could be really cool. It can allow blind people to play games as well. And at the same time, for either of those games, they could also use like the haptic feedback and the advanced like rumble to acutely make you aware of where they are. Like for that 3D platformer idea, you'd be able to feel a slight rumble in the same location you're hearing the sound coming from.
Yeah.
So you'd like feel and hear but not see where the things are. And then to make it a bit crazier, just the joke of this is that Mark Cerny will make this game, and you play as an ear.
Okay, I'm down.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool.
And it's your
Oh,
ear.
my-
Like, when you send Sony the picture of your ear, they, like, map it into the game.
That sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pretty interesting prediction personally.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm predicting. So this is something that I don't think PlayStation has ever done. But you know how like sometimes like Nintendo will bundle their consoles at launch with like a certain game that's kind of like a tech demo kind of thing almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that but on PS5. I want like some game that launches that's free when you buy the console. That's like maybe just like a simple like arcade style game, but it's like all built around whatever new features they have on the console itself.
So,
And it's just like,
would this be permanently free for, like, the whole duration of the PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
Or, would it be acceptable if they just had 2 PS Plus games that were, like, new games when the PS5 came out?
sure,
Or
yeah.
you would want a game that's free to everyone, even if you don't have it for the whole, like, life cycle.
I don't know, but like at least like it would be a simple game that's like free at launch and it's just kind of like some kind of simple, a little like quirky like game that's just kind of simple fun and like shows off the hardware really well.
Yeah, I'd
I
be
would
down
like
with that.
that too. I don't think enough hardware manufacturers like include games anymore. Like they do when the system becomes older, but like with the Switch, it still doesn't have any included games to this day.
Yeah.
Didn't have any at launch. PlayStation 4 didn't have one at launch. Xbox One didn't have one at launch. I think it would be real nice of them to put that in, especially if the price is going to be more than $400.
Oof. Yeah, we
Oh,
probably
God,
should have
yes.
added that in. At least I should have that.
Well, I don't think this is technically for the games event, so even though we did console features, I don't think we're actually going to hear anything about the hardware. Like maybe it'll be a one more thing kind of announcement and they
Yeah,
show what the
true.
box looks like. But I don't think they're going to go over price or hardware features until like the rumored state of play in August. That's when I think pre-orders are going to go live.
What if they just
I
announced
could
the
see that.
PS5 console itself as a fighter in Smash Brothers?
Wow. I don't know how
Sorry,
I
you
feel
cut
about
out.
that.
What did you say?
I said, what if they announced the PS5 console as a fighter in Super Smash Brothers?
Oh, that would be great. Like, it could be a crossover where they announce the PS5 is a fighter in Smash Bros. And then in Smash Bros, the PS5's moveset is you have to like plug it in and then get a TV item, and then it plays the reveal trailer for PS All Stars 2.
Whoa.
With the Nintendo Switch that's playable.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right, and with that, I think I'm gonna have to
crazy
go.
stuff.
But
All right.
yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys.
it's been good. I'll wrap up the video. So
Yeah.
thank you for watching up to this point. It's been fun. Stay tuned to GameCube for all your PlayStation 5 and maybe semi Xbox, but probably not, related news, announcements, and discussions like this one. And subscribe if you liked it. Thank you, and goodbye.
Yes, thank you.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching.